All gas, no break. Welcome to the show. Just Chris and Mo for the moment. Justin may or may not be joining the program at some point in time. As to do a little coach speak, I would say that Justin's appearance is questionable to doubtful, but we can never fully rule him out. So Justin may or may not be joining us. This is episode 83, the Santana Moss episode of the All Gas No Break program. Although I don't really know why we ever changed our name from 4th and 20, to be honest, because the Jets had a 4th and 20 yesterday, at least one. Not really much has changed from the 4th and 20 era. In fact, statistics suggest that it has actually gotten worse somehow. The Jets have hit rock bottom here with a 32-6 loss to the Buffalo Bills. We took a nap last week after the Raiders game. We took a nap, but this week might have even been a better week to decide to take a nap. But the corporate overlords would not allow us to nap 2 weeks in a row, so here we are. Mo, how you doing? How you feeling?
This team has once again brought me to a dark place.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everybody feels the same way.
Yeah. Dark place is definitely feel you on that. I mean, like after the game, I went to I was driving to a concert last night, like right after the game ended. And this was like a conversation I was having with myself, was like, man, like, it's just like, it's been the same shit over and over again for the past, 13 years. Nothing's really changed except the names of the coaches and GMs that we want fired and the names of the quarterbacks that suck and we want to run out of town. It's just kind of been a never-ending cycle in that regard. And, like I had this conversation with myself. I was like, man, this team just isn't really worth caring about like as much as I do. They're really just not worth like that amount of care that I have for them. And I thought to myself, I was like, man, like I need to like take a step back from caring about the team, but like I don't know if I could do that without just like completely shutting the Jets out of my life. Like I don't know if I am actually capable of like being a casual fan of the New York Jets. I don't know if I have the ability to like take that step back and just be like a casual fan, whatever that means. Like, I just don't know if I have that in me. I feel like it's just like either has to be all or nothing for me. And, yesterday was definitely one of those days that like made you question, like, like kind of what you're doing with your life as far as the amount of time, energy, money, and passion that you devote to this football team.
Yeah. And it seems like it's just going down the drain.
Yeah, going down the drain is definitely, that's like a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets
And
finally.
I even tried to do it yesterday. I was like, I think it was the third quarter, and I'm like, I wanted to shut off the game, and I changed the channel. I was like, yeah, I can't watch this anymore. And then I don't know. I guess I had some hope maybe that they could make some type of like, or at least like try to compete. And yeah, that didn't happen. So fourth quarter, I was like, I'm done. I didn't even finish watching the game.
Yeah, I don't even
usually
know.
I do.
Yeah, I don't even know why I turned on the game, because I was traveling yesterday. I was flying back from South Carolina. Went to a bougie ass wedding for my friend Brad, who's also a Jets fan. Shout outs to Brad. He was on this podcast once a long time ago. So I went down to his wedding, flew back yesterday. I landed back in Pittsburgh right around 4-ish, like right before the game started. By the time I got off the plane, the game had just begun. I missed the Xavier Gibson fumble on the kickoff, but I saw that I saw early in the game that because I was walking by like the TVs, the bars in the airport that had him on. saw that like the Bills had the ball at like our 20-yard line, like when the game had just started. So right then I knew like something was up, and that it wasn't going to be a good day. So they make them go 3 and out on that drive, and they hold them to a field goal. But a field goal might as well be like 12 points. But by the time it was like 9-0. I mean, I still wasn't home, but like by the time it was like 9-0, like I knew at that point that the game was over, because like the Jets were not going to overcome a 2-score deficit. There was just really no reason to think that, and obviously they didn't. They finally score a touchdown after they almost completed no touchdown November, but they finally scored a touchdown at the end of the first half yesterday to make the game 16-6, and that touchdown came courtesy of Thomas Morstead faking a punt and making the best offensive play of the game. So Thomas Morstead probably had the highest passer rating of any player on the Jets yesterday.
Maybe we should just make him quarterback.
And Brandon Eccles was our leading receiver with that one catch for like 18 yards on that fake punt. Zach Wilson, I think, had all other Jets wide receivers, I think, had like 12 yards or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't think he made a completion to any of them.
Yeah, or he might have made I think he made one to Garrett. Well, no, that was Tim Boyle.
It was Breece Hall, I think.
Yeah. So the Jets finally at 29-6 in this game. So I didn't know why I turned the game on. Like I knew it was over. By the time I got home, I knew it was over. It was 16-6, but I was like, what the hell? Like it's on. I don't have to pull up like an illegal stream to watch it. I could actually just turn on my TV and put on CBS and watch the game. So what the hell? I'll watch it. But I kind of disassociated from like any emotional investment at that point, and like.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to see what I think people were fearing for a while with this dangerous game that the Jets have been playing for quite some time now, where the defense is doing everything they can and the offense is just not doing anything at all. And I think you saw yesterday you started to see some cracks in the foundation of the defense. You started to see the defense overcompensate a little, like the play where Stephon Diggs burnt Sauce for like an 80-yard touchdown or whatever. It's hard to even really, I'll put burnt in quotes. It's hard to even like really blame Sauce, because he was trying to, like, you're starting to see the defense knows like that it's all on them. You've heard we heard the comments last week from Sauce. He said we're not playing complimentary football, and that the defense knows that they need to be perfect in order to have a shot to win the game, which he says that's their mentality anyway. But like, let's be real, that's like not a realistic expectation for an NFL defense in 2023 to be perfect. It's very hard to do that. It's very hard to even play at the level that the defense has. But like Sauce was going for the pick 6, and honestly, if it wasn't Josh Allen, who just throws like missiles and throws with extreme velocity, if it was a different quarterback, then he actually might have gotten the pick 6. But it was a good ball. Diggs got it, and and it was off to the races, and he won that race. So. That was, but you're starting to see that I think the defense is pressing and trying to overcompensate. They're trying to score, which is leading, they're getting more aggressive, which is leading to more mistakes. And I think at the end, you kind of saw the defense kind of lay down and just quit, which was also like a fear that eventually they would get fed up with, like, not being given the chance to win games.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to bring up, because it did seem like, all right, why are we busting our ass for the offense that can't do anything? Like, what's the point? So it did seem like they were giving up a little bit in the end.
And I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked that they did make the quarterback change, and especially doing it when they did. Like, like I was completely checked out at that point, and I just hear Jim Nantz say Tim Boyle enters the game. It's just like, oh really? Wow. So of course that like lures you back in a little bit just to like see what he can do. And I mean, he looked a little bit better than Zach. He actually like completed some passes, and the offense looked like it was starting to get into a rhythm. And then we had the Garrett Wilson fumble, which is just kind of par for the course with like how things have been for the Jets this season. And then after that, obviously I think Boyle had the interception, but I think it got ruled an incomplete pass. I don't know if he actually ended up throwing an interception, but he had a few balls that were tipped that could have been picks, and he didn't look a whole lot better than Zach, but I'd say he looked a little bit better. And of course, then the Zach truthers are going to be like, "See, it's not all his fault." Like, all right, like calm down.
No, yeah, because look, see, I've seen like a whole bunch of like stills of like tape where you see like he's in the pocket and it's a clean pocket and he still ends up getting sacked with receivers open.
Yeah, he just holds on to the ball for like way too long. Like,
yeah, he does. He doesn't know how to get it off under like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and like granted, the O-line is terrible and probably is our biggest problem right now is our offensive line. I mean, Mekhi Becton got hurt and carted off the field yesterday. That was pretty much our last good starter on the line.
Our last hope.
Like, yeah, the only starter that's left on the line now is Laken Tomlinson, and he might as well be a backup because he sucks too.
Yeah.
So
I was actually, you know what? After this morning, I was actually looking up any free agents that we could get next year on the O line.
Yeah,
one that popped out to me was Kevin Zeitler, who he's actually been doing pretty good. And I don't know why the Giants cut him, but I don't want to talk about free agency right now. I mean, at this point, we might as well because I don't see us beating the Dolphins. And who knows if we beat the Falcons?
Yeah, and if we do if we do lose to the Falcons, or I mean, if we do lose to the Dolphins, like that's pretty much it for the season. 4-7. You can safely say that the season is over. And also just I just really hate the way that the Jets have been operating this year ever since Rodgers went down. Like ever since he went down, it just seems like it was like, all right, like everyone's getting a mulligan and like this season doesn't matter anymore. And like that's just such a bad...
even before that, like they should have signed someone to back him up before the season started.
Yeah, and that's not even a hindsight thing. Like we've been saying that. Like we've been saying that like from the moment they brought Rodgers in, like, yeah, they probably should bring in a legitimate backup when you look at it, and it's just Rodgers, Zach Wilson, and Tim Boyle. Like,
and the reason is because Joe Douglas like tripled down on Zach Wilson, thinking he'd be like a good backup, but obviously you get the bad luck of having Aaron Rodgers down after 4 plays and done for the season. And I don't even want him to come back. What's the point?
There is no
point.
It
makes no sense.
Yeah, there is no point. I mean, there was the report that came out. Yeah, there was the report that came out yesterday that he wants to start practicing early December, like December 2nd or something like that, and that he wants to come back for the Commanders game on Christmas Eve. I mean, but I really don't see a point either to come back behind this offensive line. I mean, I don't know. We don't know yet what the deal with Mekhi Becton is, but it's an ankle injury, and I'm imagining because of his injury history and because he's a big man, I'm going to assume that's going to keep him out at least a week or two. I would imagine I'd be shocked if Mekhi Becton was ready to play for the Black Friday game this week. So I mean, there's really like for Aaron Rodgers to come back when we're, let's say, all right, so we lose to the Dolphins, maybe we beat the Falcons, probably lose to the Texans, and then probably lose to the Dolphins again. So it'll be what, like 5-8 or 5-9 at that point. There's no reason for him to come back at that time behind this offensive line, he'll probably just get hurt again right away anyway. Like, would it be cool for him to come back and prove all the doubters wrong at that point, even if it doesn't mean anything for the Jets? I mean, it almost seems like, I mean, he did say part of this, it has to be that, you know, like one of the caveats of him coming back is that it's the Jets have to be in the mix, which makes sense. You know, he can't just come back for nothing. But it does seem like it's more of like a personal thing for him than like actually like wanting to come back for the Jets at this point. It seems like it's more of a personal, like, I want to prove all the doubters and scientists wrong. And I was watching a YouTube video, and they were basically saying that there's really like, there's no way that after that short of a period of time, like some Twitter doctor or something was saying that, like, on some YouTube video, that there's really no way that like after that short a period of time that like the Achilles can be like fully intact and not like susceptible to, like, you know,
right,
a re-damaging or re-rupturing. So I personally would just say just shut it down, you know, unless the Jets do something, you know, unless the Jets and Tim Boyle do something miraculous here, which I'm not expecting. The Jets finally decided today, you know, they finally decided yesterday that enough was enough with Zach Wilson, and, you know, they finally decided today to move forward with a different quarterback in Tim Boyle. Trevor Siemian is also getting elevated from the practice squad. He will be the backup, and Zach will be third string, which is honestly probably where Zach probably should have been this whole time.
Do you think this is Zach's last snap as a starter, barring any injuries from the quarterbacks before him?
I mean, I'd want to say yes, but like, there were so many times. I mean, there were so many times where, you know, so many times where I thought, oh, this is it for Zach in New York, or this is it for like his career as a Jet or in general. Like, I thought after the whole press conference debacle after the New England game last year and getting benched for Mike White, I thought that was going to be the last we saw of Zach. But then, of course, Mike White gets hurt and he can't come back. So they bring Zach back for the Lions game, and, you know, they give him a couple more shots, and then, you know, he gets benched for Chris Streveler, and then Mike White comes back again, and, you know, and then Zach was like deactivated at that point. But, you know, and then he comes back. Of course, he comes back this year, and, you know, outside of what, 2 quarters of the Chiefs game where he looked like a competent NFL quarterback, it's really just been the same, you know. And it's like, and we know he's not the only problem. Nathaniel Hackett sucks. The O-line sucks. The receivers not named Garrett Wilson suck. The running backs not named Breece Hall suck, although Izzy Abanikanda, I mean, so much for the youth movement. And even just the way, because, I mean, going back to what I was saying before about how I just can't stand the way the Jets have been operating this year, where it's just like, all right, like, we're going to punt the season basically from the moment Aaron Rodgers went down. Like, they, you know, because, I mean, obviously it seems like, you know, no one's concerned about their jobs or losing their job. It seems like everyone will probably come back, although at this point, if they decide to fire everyone, I probably wouldn't care. And yes, that does include Joe Douglas at this point, because he's got his hands on this mess too. A lot of these moves or lack thereof of moves were on him. You know, like not trading a 6th-round pick for the rocket appliancist Joshua Dobbs was organizational malpractice.
Yeah.
But like, even just the way they're operating from like a PR standpoint, like the leak that came out yesterday before the game that they were trading for Devontae Adams, or that they were going to try to trade for Devontae Adams in the offseason. Like, okay, cool. Like who
cares? Who cares now?
Like, yeah, that'll be great if and when it does happen, you know, that'll be awesome. But like, yeah, it doesn't help us now. And like, it's clear that like they're trying to distract you from like how bad the current product is, and like, you know, probably distracting you from like, hey,
no one wants to hear that shit right now.
it kind of, to me, it kind of screamed like, hey, we know we're probably about to get our asses kicked again by Buffalo today. So like, let's put out some good news before the game to like get everyone's mind off the ass beating we're about to take, like that.
Yeah.
And then, they also put out like the, they also put out that press release or whatever, that they were going to have more of a youth movement this week. And, that like Izzy Abanikanda was going to see more snaps. I think he had 1 carry and he got 10 yards on that carry, but that was his only carry. I think that was the only time he was on the field. I'm pretty sure they yanked him off the field right after because, like, God forbid you get a first down in this society. Like,
but you know what the worst thing is though about this whole thing? Like, we were talking about how like the first 6 games of this season were going to be like the hardest ones.
Yeah.
And we actually did good in those 6 games.
Yeah.
And
like
then
we were talking about,
this was supposed to be the easiest part of the schedule or the easier part of the schedule. But what I realized is it doesn't matter who you're playing. It's just when you're playing them.
It's when you're playing them. Yeah. Cause like the easy games can become hard and the hard games can, I don't know. There's really no easy
how do we
games.
beat the Eagles? How?
That's a good question. I mean, we basically beat the Eagles because Tony Adams had an almost pick 6. That's really it. Otherwise that doesn't happen. Tony Adams almost had a pick 6 and Greg Zuerlein kicked a bunch of field goals. Like, that's pretty much how we won that game. And I mean, like, yes, we scored a touchdown yesterday, but like it was basically the same play as the touchdown in the Giants game, but shorter. So if you really look at it, like, does Zach Wilson really have like a legitimate passing touchdown since the Chiefs game?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, he really hasn't. The fact that it's taken, and I mean the fact that it's taken this long for them to finally make a decision, like, and like I was watching Salah's press conference today, and he's like, oh, you could always play the hindsight game. It's like, but it's like, dude, this isn't hindsight. Like, we have been saying for weeks. That
you can tell like Salah does not want Zach Wilson. I don't think he ever did.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like. Because I don't know if you saw the presser today, but Salah did say something pretty interesting. Or like, Salah always seems to have like an interesting comment where he says nothing, but it says a lot. And he had one of those today where he was like, I think someone asked him, about the pre-draft process and stuff like that. And, like what his opinion was at the time. And he basically said like, yeah, I have my thoughts on the matter and I shared them with Joe at the time, but like, I'm not going to get into it with you guys right now. Which to me sounds like it sounds to me like Salah would have rather kept Darnold, and it sounds like Joe Douglas, who was the ultimate decision maker, wanted Wilson, and it sounded like Mike LaFleur had a heavy influence in the pick too. Like, it seemed like at the time like Zach Wilson was like handpicked for Mike LaFleur's offense.
Yeah,
which makes no sense because it was all like a West Coast short passing offense, and Zach's strengths
exactly what he doesn't do.
Yeah, which is exactly what he doesn't do well, and his strengths are throwing the deep ball if he has any strengths.
Yeah, Zach's strength is backyard football, scrambling out of the pocket.
Yeah, basically his strengths are not transferable to the NFL. He can't read defenses. He can't read defenses. Every once in a while, he'll launch a nuke down the field. More often than not, it's probably going to get picked rather than completed. So, I mean, there's really, it never, like looking back, it really never made sense. Like, I will say it made sense it made sense at the time to move on from Darnold because you were able to essentially reset the clock as far as having a quarterback on their rookie deal, because the time with Darnold was running out for that. So like that part made sense. There was just no good quarterback to take because you just had to go and beat the Rams in that meaningless game. Braden Mann just had to make that tackle. And then you just had to go and beat the Browns again the next week. But I don't think at that point that it would have even mattered. At that point, like the Jaguars had already basically clinched the number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are. Now we're in the situation where, we have a questionable head coach, a beyond incompetent offensive coordinator, and we can't really move on from what we have because of this 40-year-old who was tripping on mushrooms in a cave a few months ago is like lingering in the background, basically saying like these are the guys that I like and these are the guys that I want. So like they kind of have their hands tied and can't really make any changes.
Which is like that's the worst part of this whole thing.
Yeah, like it's great that we got Aaron Rodgers, but it just sucks that it had to come with like so many so many caveats and so many catch-22s.
Yeah, so much baggage.
Yeah, of like, oh, you have to bring in. Well, I mean, they hired Hackett before they got Rodgers, but that was clear. That was a very clear like we're doing.
It was
this
a move to get Rodgers.
Yeah, like that was very clearly a move to get Rodgers. But like bringing in Lazard, paying him $10-11 million a year.
Yeah.
He's got to be Alan Lazard's got to be the worst wide receiver in history, making over $10 million a year.
Yeah, I think he is. Because I didn't like the signing to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't love it. You brought Tim Boyle in, which was basically he was never a serious quarterback or a serious option. I'm actually a little surprised that they decided to go to Tim Boyle instead of Trevor Siemian. I almost thought they were, and honestly, I wouldn't have been shocked if they went back to Zach after that yesterday because they benched Zach so late. I wouldn't have been shocked that they were like, oh yeah, the game was out of hand. We just wanted to get him out of there for his own sake, but like he'll be back next week. Don't worry. But to their credit, I think they recognize the situation. A little too late if you ask me, but they finally recognized the situation that it was time to
2 years too late.
Yeah, that it was time to move on. And like my whole thing is like, you went out and you showed hole for Aaron Rodgers. It is what it is. You got Aaron Rodgers, which is great. But like, why would you be okay? Like you already admitted when you went out and you got Aaron Rodgers, you already admitted that like Zach Wilson was not the guy. Like you had already admitted like he's not the guy. That was a miss of a pick, a bad draft pick, and that it was a bad investment. So you're already admitting that. So why are you okay with him being the first man up for that if and when situation when Rodgers went down? Like that's the part that I can't wrap my head around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tim Boyle will start this week. I don't really know what to expect. I mean, does this maybe provide the offense with some sort of a Mike White type of spark? I don't know. I'm like,
that's another thing too. Why get rid of Mike White or not re-sign him?
Yeah, that decision is looking worse and worse every day. I mean, I may have spread some misinformation on this podcast, on podcasts past, because I think Mike White's it's really only like $4 million a year he's making, I think. I thought it was like way more, and I thought that was why they didn't bring him back. So I remember at the time seeing the contract. I think the contract could be like up to $16 million, but that's mostly, I think, incentive-based. But really, from a base salary standpoint, it wouldn't have costed that much to bring back Mike White. he's a pretty good backup, so he's going to command like a few $1 million, which is what he's getting. And yeah, there really was no reason to not bring him back. There was really no reason to not bring him back other than I guess they didn't feel like it. And it seems like Aaron Rodgers has kind of been in the Jets' ear too. It's like saying like pretty much Aaron Rodgers is like telling the Jets how to run the team, being like, yeah, no, like Zach's the guy, like let him hold down the fort while I'm gone because he's taken a liking to him for whatever reason.
Right. Yeah. It's all politics.
Yeah, it's so infuriating, and I mean, there's always so much politics with this team, and they're always so caught up in so much other dumb shit that's like, it's like all Jets fans all we really want to see is just like we just want to see you be competitive and win games. That's all we care about. Like we don't care who's friends with who. We don't care about JetBlue Airlines. We don't care about like basically Woody has told us for the past basically Woody is the message that Woody Johnson's been sending the past like 11 weeks is that I don't care about your money because JetBlue is giving me more money to start Zach Wilson. The conspiracy, the JetBlue conspiracy might have some life to it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but I mean the fact that the JetBlue sponsors the Jets. Woody's like boys with Zach Wilson's uncle who owns JetBlue. Kind of led to him being drafted, it seems. Because I mean, who was Woody gonna take? Was he gonna take like the white kid from Utah, or was he gonna take Justin Fields? And like we all know what kind of guy Woody Johnson is. Of course, he was gonna take the white kid from Utah, the baby face, January 6th, Zach Wilson, and and it's pretty much all just been downhill from there, and it's pretty much led to
the usual.
Yeah, the usual where we are now. The usual where we are now of time being a flat circle, and now we're the pitchforks are out and we're ready to run another regime out of town, and that's a shame. That's a shame because Saleh was like he's a very likable guy and he was very easy to root for, but like I don't know. It's like, how are you going to come in here and be like, oh, it's going to be all gas, no break. And then, after the Raiders game, you say it's a race to 20. Well, apparently when you're playing the Jets, it's a race to 9. You get 2 scores and you're going to win.
It's a race to shit. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a race to the toilet seat.
No gas, all shit. That's exactly what I see.
Yeah. Yeah, no gas, all shit. Maybe that can be our next
or all gas, all toilet.
Yeah. All gas on the toilet, a bunch of bolt parts. Yeah, so I mean,
look at this team. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah, and the worst part is that I'm probably gonna end up going to the Black Friday game.
What?
I mean, I wouldn't, but like I did already buy tickets to a tailgate for it. The middle initial and Nick and Nick tailgate extravaganza for the Black Friday game. At this point, I'm just going for the food. I mean, I haven't bought tickets to the game yet because tickets are surprisingly expensive for this game, and even after yesterday's debacle, tickets really didn't go down that much, which
is insane.
I don't know if it's because like a bunch of Dolphins fans are coming up for the game, or because it's like in some ways it's like a historical event because it's the first like Black Friday game ever. That's like keeping this price from keeping these tickets from being like $20 like they should be, but
yeah.
Oh man! Oh, actually, they came down a little bit. Never mind. I thought they had come down I thought they had come down more than they did. But yeah, I mean it's dark times in Jets land, and like I think I said at the beginning of the podcast that we've hit rock bottom, but like I can't even confidently say that because every time this team and this franchise seems to hit rock bottom, there seems to be another rock bottom even lower than that they somehow achieve. I mean, I don't know how many rock bottoms. I don't know how many more rock bottoms I have in me as a fan. I don't know how many. I don't know how many more rock bottoms there are for this team to hit. But I mean, I think changing the quarterback was the first move. It was the obvious move. It should have happened. Really, it should have happened after the Chargers game at the latest. I mean, I probably would have done it. I probably would have done it after the bye week, if I'm being honest. I mean, but like it was hard to do it at that point because like you were still winning games at that point. But I mean, like, and like I would have done it. I would have done it after the Giants game, but then they went and but then like he turned into like. He turned into like Moses in the last 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm tired of trying to like project how this team could get fixed, and
it's nothing
because everyone keeps getting hurt all the time, and like
it's
Elijah Vera
ridiculous.
Tucker's out, Becton's done, Connor McGovern's done. That's three starting offensive linemen right there. The only one's Laken Tomlinson and then Joe Tippmann, I guess. And Joe Tippmann wasn't even starting at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, is Tippmann out for the year? I can't even remember. There's so many injuries now. I'm losing track.
No, Tippmann was playing, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, he was at center.
I guess so. I thought that he was.
Do you think that was Mekhi Becton's last game for the Jets?
Sadly, I think it was. I just don't really. I don't really see how they re-sign him after yet another injury.
So that's like three left tackles that are hurt. Well, two that we had as potential start. Dwayne Brown, I don't know, he's still hurt, and Becton. So they started rookie Carter Warren.
Oh yeah, the pick guy, Carter Warren. Yeah, and they started some guy who sounded like a creative player or something. I can't even remember his name right now.
That right guard.
Yeah, the right guard.
Oh my God, Max Mitchell! Get him out of here. He sucks.
Yeah, Max Mitchell blows. I mean, he had some nice moments last year, but he really ain't it.
They got to blow up this whole offensive line. I mean, like keep Vera Tucker. That might be it.
Yeah, I would keep AVT. Yeah, I'd keep AVT and Tippmann, and yeah, that would be it. I mean, Laken will probably be back because I think you're stuck with his contract. I don't really know how you get out of that.
He has a 3-year. So this is what, his third year or second year?
This, I believe, is his second year.
Is this? Yeah, I think it is the second year.
Yeah, he was signed in 22.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We need a right guard and a left tackle primarily.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. I think I said it a few episodes ago. I think I said it after the Chargers game, but I'll reiterate it and say it again. Aside from paying Bryce Huff, every resource that this team has, draft picks, cap space, whatever, everything needs to be invested in improving the offense. Because even with Rodgers back, like Rodgers isn't this team should be much better with Rodgers. But even with Rodgers back, there are still so many holes and so many concerns of this line. I mean, you have to protect him. And like really the weapons beyond Garrett Wilson are very thin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brees
And
Hall. Brees
people are
Hall's a
calling for
he
the
can't play every play. So I mean,
yeah.
you got to really play Abanaconda to see if he could be like the RB2 of the future. And so I think you've got to like give him more than one carry on one, give him more than one carry and one snap in the following game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, maybe give Brownlee some more, because all they did with Brownlee was like they activated him, but all he was doing was blocking. I don't think they tried throwing to him once, or I
Yeah,
don't
they
even
do.
know if he ran any routes. Like I feel like he was only on the field for run blocking plays.
Mm-hmm. So what?
I
See,
mean, there's,
and
there's
and
really
then
no way to
all
like
right.
quick
So there's
fix.
the whole there is no quick fix because all right, they bring up that whole Devontae Adams thing. How the hell are you gonna get him? Because we need a first. We need a left tackle.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a decently high
And
pick.
yeah, and how are they gonna get Devontae Adams with that first round pick?
I mean, I don't know, because I mean, Devontae Adams is a little bit older. So would he
Mm-hmm.
cost a first round pick? I mean, he's still very good.
Well,
So
we don't have a second round unless we trade somebody.
yeah, I
But
mean, unless you, yeah, and like at that point, I don't know who you're gonna trade for a
yeah,
second round
and
pick. There's really nobody expendable that's gonna get that type of value for you, because otherwise they wouldn't be expendable.
right,
Uh,
and there are like two really good left tackles in this draft
yeah, I mean,
that I know of.
maybe if you make a draft day trade, like maybe if you, I don't know, maybe if you like I think we have a third round pick this year. Maybe if you trade your third round pick and some other picks to move up into the second round, you probably have to trade a future second. You'd probably have to trade like a 2025 second, a third round pick, and like something else to like move up into the second round, and then
Oh
maybe flip
God,
that pick and like a fifth round pick or something to get Devontae.
that's insane.
And I just there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of gymnastics to how that's going to get done. But I do feel like, I do have some blind faith that we are going to end up getting Devontae Adams. It just kind of seems like
Yeah,
it feels like fate, for the lack of a better term. And boy, do we need him.
yeah, we do. Because I mean, it would pretty much set us up like how the Eagles wide receivers situation set up, like having AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and I mean Garrett Wilson. You could play him in the slot if you want. You can move him anywhere, and he's playable. Devontae
Yeah,
Adams, you just need him out wide all the time.
that would give you a lot of flexibility if you bring in
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, and obviously Aaron's got the chemistry with him,
Hmm.
and
And it seems
hopefully,
like he has some chemistry with Garrett too.
yeah, he does seem to have
Like
some chemistry with Garrett. I
for
mean,
well, what it seems to me is like he tends to play harder for Aaron Rodgers. Pause.
hey,
For
yo,
when he when he's
and
on the field, at least.
rightfully so to an extent. I mean, rightfully so to an extent. I mean, like he's been so used to like all the trash quarterbacks that like the Jets have trotted out to throw him the ball, and he's been producing with all of them. So he was probably like so hyped up wow, like I have like a real quarterback, a real fucking like Hall of Famer throwing me the ball. Someone he probably like
Hmm.
grew up watching. So yeah,
Right.
that probably did make him play a little bit harder.
Yep. All right. I have nothing else to say about this game because it was as soon as uh, Gibson dropped that fumbled that return, I knew this game was going to be one of those games.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't see that happen, but I'm sure if I was like in front of a TV and witnessed that with my
Hmm.
eyes, I would have felt the same way.
You would have said the same thing.
Yeah, like I didn't know what to think when I saw it. I didn't know until I saw on Twitter that that
It
he
was
got lit
bad.
up on the kick return. Yeah, yeah, like I saw the play, so I saw what
Yeah.
happened. But at the
But live,
time,
yeah, live, you would have said, yeah, all right, game over.
yeah. And I mean, even when it went to even when it went to 3-0, it was just kind of like, all right, like that's probably it. Like this
Hmm.
is probably too much for us to overcome. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything left to say as far as the game goes. It was just another game in many another game of many games that we've witnessed as Jets fans
Hmm.
over the years of just embarrassing blowouts.
Yeah.
Uh,
And another thing, I don't think anyone's getting fired.
I don't think so either. I mean, it seems like it does seem like everyone's kind of getting autonomy or whatever
They're
the word
getting they're getting the Aaron Rodgers pass, basically. That's what
Yeah,
it
yeah, they're
seems to
getting
me.
the Aaron Rodgers mulligan,
Right.
which I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I would honestly, I mean, not to talk about the draft, but if Michael Penix Jr. was there, like I
Oh,
would,
take him. I'll take
yeah, I
him.
would take him, man. Like if that
I
hurts
don't care.
Aaron Rodgers, and honestly, at that point, if that hurts Aaron Rodgers' feelings, then so be it. Like,
I don't care. He could sit behind him for a couple of years. It don't matter. But
yeah,
one thing about that is like if he does well, I mean, if we had that first round pick to get him, if there is a first round pick and then we end up like trading maybe if we move up for like a second to get Devontae Adams and then take Penix with the first pick, uh, I would say because I think honestly he's my favorite quarterback out of the whole draft.
oh, me too. So we're both
I think
Penix
he's the best.
players.
Yeah, we're both Penix aficionados.
Yeah, I love the Penix.
The hefty lefty. I like the arrow, the
Yeah,
bow
and
and arrow.
he'll probably fall. He probably won't get taken like top 5 the way Caleb Williams and Drake May will because he's left-handed and some other things that
Oh shit!
NFL
I could
owners and
give,
GMs don't like.
yeah, no, I could
Um,
give two shits.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the route the Jets will end up going. I think that they're going
No,
to invest everything into like doing like a last dance run with Rodgers.
yeah,
So I don't think quarterback's going to be on
yeah,
their
it's not
plans.
gonna be on the board. That good. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks too. The Raiders need a
Yeah,
quarterback. Washington probably needs one. Atlanta, I think
Miami.
desperately needs one.
Yeah, Atlanta
Uh,
definitely needs one. I
the
kind of like Sam
Minnesota,
Howell.
he's decent. He's been doing. He what is this his second year?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I do kind of like
Minnesota.
Sam Howell.
Are they keeping Kirk Cousins? Who knows? Um, I don't know what's going on with Arizona. Carolina's definitely. I don't even think they have a first round pick, which is crazy. Uh, who else? Yeah, that's all I could think of right now. You know who really sucks as a head coach? Brandon Staley, and then they end up beating us.
Yeah, like Salah should be fucking embarrassed that he let Brandon Staley's team dog walk him.
Oh
That's
God,
embarrassing.
with with
Granted,
with
it
a
wasn't it
with a
wasn't the
whole
it
leash
wasn't the
tight.
defense's fault, but like Salah, you are a head coach, and it's time to be a head coach. Like like whether you're defensive minded or what, you are responsible for like what the offense is. Like that is an
Yeah,
indictment on you as a head coach. You are
it
responsible
is.
for like, all aspects of the football team.
But see, this is one thing like that I was thinking about. We before Salah and well, I guess Joe Douglas, we were like a bottom five defense, and he transformed us into a top three, at least on the defensive side. But it seems like he hasn't done any work with the offense at all. He just
Yeah.
relies on the offensive coordinator to, I guess,
Yeah, which is the same
formulate
story
that
that
together.
which is the same story that it was with Bowles and the same story it was with Rex. They just have
Yeah,
no hand in the offense at all. And
yeah. And
and then
apparently, like, he's in meetings and stuff like that. Like, well, what is that? What is he doing about it on the field?
he's probably just like observing, just like, okay, yeah, everything looks good to me. But it's like as a defensive coach, you have to like know some offense because you're planning to stop them every week. So like you have to know how offenses operate and how they work. That's what I don't get is like how are
Yeah,
you not how are you that uninvolved or that clueless? But yeah, I mean that could be a discussion maybe for a different day. But yeah, I mean
yeah,
I'm kind of soured on this whole regime at this point. They could all take a walk at this point because I mean, I'm just tired of hearing Salah every week. He just sounds so defeated every time he like
yeah.
goes
He
podium.
does. He looks like he's really
He
stressed
always,
out.
and he always looks defeated on the sidelines, and it's like, dude, like, what are you doing to try to like fix this? And it's like he thinks that, like you said in the group chat, he thinks everything will just fix itself, and it
Yeah,
hasn't.
right.
Um, But
All
yeah, I
right.
mean,
So Jim Harbaugh and Michael Penix.
yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up yesterday. I don't give a fuck.
I'll sign up yesterday.
I don't give a fuck what Jim Harbaugh is being accused of doing in Michigan.
Me either. All I
We've
know
been
is he took two franchises and made them great.
yeah, I mean he turned Alex Smith into somebody. Alex Smith
Yeah,
really wasn't even average until Jim Harbaugh showed up.
right.
So I mean he turned Alex Smith into somebody. You know,
And then
he
make Salah the defensive coordinator. Fuck it.
Yeah, well, he probably won't go for that. Just keep Ulbrich as a
No.
DC,
Yeah.
or if anything, like promote Ulbrich to head coach. I feel
Shoot,
like
that might be.
I feel like he's more of like a leader than Robert Saleh might be.
Yeah, that's true. Shit,
Like
he
if you
might get
rewatch
hired.
Hard Knocks,
Somebody might hire him.
yeah, he should. He deserves to get head coaching consideration. I don't know how
Hmm.
much he's going to get because, like, who else hires defensive-minded head coaches aside from us?
Yeah,
Although the Texans are doing a great job with D'Amico Ryans,
yeah.
and like,
Well, he looks like he's on both sides of the ball too.
yeah, he looks like he actually has involvement. But like,
Hmm.
we're the only team that seems that hires strictly defensive coordinators that don't have any hand in
Don't
the
know
offense.
shit about the offense besides
It's just,
Adam Gase, but we're
yeah,
not gonna talk about that.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a short one this week, so I guess let's just do some picks and we can get out of here.
Fuck them picks.
Yeah, fuck the picks. Let's just do yeah, fuck the picks.
You
Let's
want?
just do
Let's
the
do
Jets game.
my little trivia thing.
Yeah, we could do that.
Actually, you know what? I could email it to you. Um, Let me see. Or do I have your email? Is it the Yahoo one?
Uh, I do have a Yahoo email and I have a Gmail account. I'll text you my email.
All right.
Or you could just like say it real quick and I could try.
Yeah. I feel like the visual would help.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
I don't know if you could share your screen or yeah, if you
I
here,
have
you
it
know
on
what I'll
my
do?
phone.
Yeah, what I could do is I could put my email in the chat, and then you could send it to that email, and then I could share
Oh,
my
okay.
screen. Just let me know once it's sent. In the meantime, while you're doing that, I guess we'll do picks for the Jets game. So yeah, first Black Friday game. It's Tim Boyle coming to town, and so are the Dolphins. The Dolphins, I think the Dolphins are kind of fraudulent, but I still think that I can, in good consciousness, pick the Jets to win this game. I mean, that's just like I just don't know how you could do that at this point in time with what we've been seeing and what they've been putting out there. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be. I think the offense will show a little bit of life, and I think that we'll lose 24-14 is my final score.
24-14. Shit.
Yeah, 24-14 loss.
Okay, I was gonna say like 31-7.
It's probably going to be what's going to be more along the lines of, if we're being honest.
Crazy.
So basically, we have the same amount of points being scored, but you have one more touchdown for the Dolphins and one less for the Jets than me.
Yes, I do.
I'm giving Tim Boyle the benefit of the doubt that he can lead this offense to 2 touchdowns, which I don't know why I'm doing that. I think maybe just the fact that it's someone other than Zach Wilson might provide some sort of a spark, but still don't think it'll be enough to beat the Dolphins. There's just too many problems.
Yeah. Shit, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I'm trying to send this. It wasn't letting me do it on the share on Google Meet.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have the notes. Maybe I could attach the note.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just forward it. I'll forward it to you.
Yeah, just forward it to my email. If I can pull it up. But yeah, I mean, if anyone watching this is going to be at the Jets game, I will probably be there. So, I guess come say hi. We can commiserate together.
It's a PDF file. Did you get it?
Let me refresh my email here. Yes, Maurice L. has attached a document.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
Hey. Why won't it let me? It's like not letting me open it. Maybe we should just save this for another day. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it says it's a documents attached, but when I go to click it to open it, it's like not letting me. That's annoying. Watch, Justin will probably join right now that we're as we're wrapping this up.
It's still not working? All right, hold on. Let me see here.
Yeah, it won't let me click and open the document.
Am I able to send it through here?
I don't know if it'll let you attach stuff.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it'll let you share the screen since I'm the one running the thing.
Maybe if I screenshot it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that'll probably work if you just screenshot it.
I'll screenshot it and send it in the group.
All right. Let me know once that is done.
Is the group better or Twitter?
Twitter's good because then I can
so it's on the computer.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
Send it to send it to the podcast Twitter.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
I just saw someone made a same game parlay on Twitter, or they're contemplating a same game parlay of it's a 4-pick same game parlay for the Jets Dolphins game, and I actually like this a lot. I think this has a great chance of hitting. Miami Dolphins first quarter money line, Miami Dolphins second quarter money line, Miami Dolphins third quarter money line, and Miami Dolphins fourth quarter money line. Plus 360 on DraftKings. Not too bad. All right, let's see if I can share this.
Yeah, you should be able to, right?
I think so. Wait. Bad radio.
It's windy outside. That fall is starting to hit.
Oh yeah. So yeah, more like that winter is starting to hit up around
over
these
there.
Parts.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see
over
this.
yonder.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So guess this defense based on where the college is, where the people went to college. Is this just the Jets?
Yeah, this is Jets.
Okay. Yeah,
nobody gave it away. This one was for Justin because the Cincinnati probably gave it away.
Yeah, Cincy, and Jermaine Johnson, defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
And then who
Let's
is?
see if you can guess the players.
Yeah, so we got Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle, Alabama. Linebacker, Alabama. Is that Mosley or is that Quincy Williams?
That's Mosley.
Yeah, cornerbacks, Cincinnati is obviously Sauce. And then obviously the defensive end here is from Florida State is Jermaine Johnson. And then the defensive end from, what is this, Missouri?
That's Memphis.
Memphis, defensive end. That might be the only is that Huff?
Yeah, that's Bryce Huff.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that was pretty easy.
Is that the second one? There's 3 more.
Wait, you sent 3 other ones?
I should have.
Oh. Hold on. All right, we got another one, and I'm going to reshare my screen now to show this. I am sorry that I am so bad at this. All right, for the next one, we have we got defensive end Alabama, safety is at Baylor, corner LSU, linebacker Minnesota, and defensive end Florida. I believe this would be the Houston Texans.
That is correct. What gave it away, Baylor?
The secondary gave it away. Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley from Baylor and LSU.
Do you know who the linebacker is?
From Minnesota, is it Blake Cashman?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy how he got good.
Right? Out of nowhere. Oh my God.
Yeah, he got good out of nowhere. And then what, is there one more or 2 more?
2 more, yeah. The defensive end for Alabama, that's Will Anderson. And then the defensive end from Florida is Jonathan Grenard.
Gotcha. And then let's see if we have any others. All right, and then we have here we have linebacker, Utah State, safety, Texas, defensive end, Minnesota, cornerback, I don't know what school that is.
That's UTSA.
and safety Notre Dame. I believe this is the Baltimore Ravens.
That is incorrect.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was. I thought the safety for Notre Dame would have been Kyle Hamilton.
It is not.
I think it's. Not the Baltimore Ravens. Is it the? Is it the Buffalo Bills?
It is not the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm stumped on this one.
This is the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
So linebackers, Utah State, that's Bobby Wagner. Safety is Quandre Diggs. Defensive end is Boye Mafe. The cornerback is Tariq Woolen. And safety is Julian Love.
Okay. And that's all of them, right?
The top one.
Yeah. Or the top one. Yeah, we got defense. We got line. Oh, wait, wrong one. The top one. We have defensive end, Ohio State. Linebacker, Yale. Linebacker.
BYU.
Oh, that's BYU. Okay. Ohio State defensive end. Linebacker, BYU. Safety from USC. A corner from Oregon. And the linebackers from the Mighty Pigs.
Yes.
What college is that with the pig?
Oh, Arkansas.
Arkansas. I don't know if I'm going to get this one either. Is this the Kansas City Chiefs?
This is not.
Not the Chiefs. Is this the let's see. Are these all like good defenses?
Yes.
This is the 49ers.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Maga Bosa from Ohio State. Did Fred Warner go to BYU?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, no shit. And then who's their other linebacker that went to Pig School? Drake Greenlaw. And what school is that again?
Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas Razorback Pigs. Safety USC, that would be is that Tart?
No, it's Talonia Hafunga.
And then the corner from Oregon is I'm drawing a blank right now on 49ers corners.
Diamondre Lenore.
Yes, him. Who could forget? All right, well, I'll take it. I'll take 3 out of 4 on that. Not too shabby for the first time doing that exercise. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much going to do it here for us today. It's a short one this week because, we're just so dejected and defeated at this point that, there really is no point to, there's really no point to bore you with details for 2 to 3 hours. So we'll get out of here quick and go watch some Monday Night Football. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you after we lose to the Dolphins.
Peace.